Okay, here's the second part of my video that I want to show. I'm on the upper side in the garden now, and I'd just like to show you some things that I got going on here. I have some lettuce growing. That's romaine lettuce there. Uh, I have some curly kale and regular kale beside it. I also have some mustards. Some collards growing in the back there, and some greens that I'm trying to let flower to seed. And I have another variety of greens here that I'm going to let seed because it's very important as we're going through this pandemic now. Uh, if it gets too bad, they're going to start withholding stuff from the public. And I was on YouTube yesterday and I seen one state already in Walmart had posted that they would not be putting out seeds. Yes, seeds. Seeds for you to plant in your garden. Uh, Evidently, if this pandemic is causing certain things to be held on to right now. So, be careful, stock up on your seeds and stuff. We don't know how this is going to affect the food chain. That's why they're holding on to seeds now. You just need to start growing things, grow stuff yourself so you can determine what you eat. When you go to the grocery store, the price might be very high on vegetables and fruits now. So I encourage you to grow your own things, not to put panic out there, but just to be in the know. Uh, I have spinach here that's coming up. I also have Swiss chard here. Uh, as I'm going down the line, I have some cabbage here that's coming up. I also have, I'm using these tomato cages to keep the white material back there from laying directly on top of the seedlings. This is collards. If you can see down there's some collards growing in there. I also have this is red mustard that's growing in this row. As you can see, the taller plants were some that I started earlier, and they just kept on growing. The other ones died, so I replanted in a row. So as you can see, a lot is coming up now. Several of them. I'll have to thin this out um, as they get fuller and get taller. And then I go over here. I'll have some green mustard. Uh, Two different varieties of mustards here. And we go on down, and I have some beets here that are coming along just fine. Even though they might look like he's laying over there, he's just resting. He'll be okay. Then we get here, and I have broccoli. Have some broccoli growing here. Gotta love that broccoli when growing in the garden. Uh, some young plants. This is some young cucumbers that I'm going to let run up this trellis here. I don't have a lot of space, so I'm trying to grow things up when I can. And I did this last year, and then it was awesome. I had a great yield in vegetables, and they stayed off the ground, so I really didn't have to wash them thoroughly. I mean, I did wash them, but I didn't have to, get all the dirt and stuff off. There just wasn't any dirt on there. Okay, moving along. Here I have some cauliflower growing. Haven't grown cauliflower before. That's why I'm trying different things now. Doing different things in the garden, trying to get some things to grow that I haven't grown yet. And under here, uh, I have some carrots growing, and you can't really see them right now because carrots, they're kind of picky when you're getting them started. They don't like sun until they get started real good, get their root system developed. So and they like to stay moist. So I got them covered up with that wood there, so they won't be in the direct sunlight, and they can grow until they're ready to just start growing. Okay, I have some green beans here, several plantings in a bunch here that I'm planted, and I have some radish planted here beside this log here. It hasn't came up yet, but I got my fingers crossed with that. And I'm moving on down here. I have another batch of kale. Now this kale is from last year, and this kale we just picked yesterday. And look at it, it's still full and it's still growing. We picked a nice batch that will be frozen, put in the freezer for later use. Uh, I have some onions planted down in there, if you can see. I got some onions planted down in there, giving them a good little start right there. And I have my squash and zucchinis planted here. These are squash here, and then going over, we have my zucchini over there. They starting off pretty good. I started them from seed, so they're doing pretty good. I'm turning around here because I want to show you this big box I built the other day for Dion. She encouraged me to build this box because we have been growing snap peas along this fence for the longest, and they really didn't take off too good because of the soil. So she just kept at me about building this box to help the peas root system get developed good, so they can just run up the side of this fence here. Okay, and this is my netting that I'm using to cover the garden to keep that direct sun somewhat off of the tender plants. And even when they get full and developed, that gives them somewhat of a diffusion of that direct sunlight. Okay, I'm swinging around here. This is a peach tree that I've kind of pruned, and now it's loaded with peaches. Hopefully I'll get some this year. Then I'm moving on around. I'll have some more spinach, some more beets, and here's a look that you can see down that row there. Those are carrots. They came along pretty good. Now they're growing, so those carrots are coming up pretty good. And okay, I'm swinging on around. I have onions planted on the back side of the fence there. I have blueberry bushes that are growing. One here, one there. They're producing blueberries already. Then we get over here. This is a new addition to the garden here. This is a trial project, which I think is going to do pretty good. I'm still in the process of planting, so some of the boxes are still empty. As you look, I have some more romaine lettuce, red and green romaine. We have some little gem lettuce, which is a different variety that I haven't tried. I haven't tried this romaine. I'm trying new things, people. We need to try different things and just not get stuck in the rut of just playing the same thing every year. Okay, I'm going on down where here I have white onions. I have them planted there. And I even planted some celery this year. I'm going to see how this celery does, and you watch as well as me as the season goes on how it does. We got strawberries. Got to have some strawberries in the mix. My grandkids tend to love those once they start producing. And the variety that I have, they produce year round. So you can come out here in the fall and you might get a strawberry off of there. So that's a neat thing. And I'm going down now where I have some more onions planted. These are red, purple onions. The sweet purple onion. Yeah, that's a variety that I had never planted, so I'm working with that. And we have the red romaine. Red lettuce, excuse me. I'm sorry. This is red lettuce. I hadn't planted that, but that's coming along pretty good. And as you can see, you don't need a lot of space to plant things and be creative with it. I got these boxes from work. I've been had them for several years, and they are stackable, but I decided to down stack the boxes this year to make the garden, to create more space and to get more beds, and to maximize the little bit of space that I have here. And this is my watering station here. That's right in the middle of all the vegetables, which is pretty good. You don't have to walk too far. Uh, and I have some more beds here that I'm going to be planting tomatoes in. I still have trays sitting around where different things that I'm growing. This is a, if you can see, those plants are growing good there. They're just sitting out in the sun chilling. That is another variety of kale, dinosaur kale, which gets kind of tall and very, very delicious and very healthy for you. Most of the things I'm planting, I'm trying to plant things that are green and leafy and healthy, because a healthy body is a good, safe, healthy immune system, and that's what you want. And as I turn around here, you've seen this before. This is my little station out here where I work at. I have some curly parsley, some more zucchinis that are growing that I might can replant if one of those die up there. The sage, thyme that's trying to bloom on me. I don't know. I might just snip some of those off. These overwintered, so they was out here last year. This is oregano right there. And you just pull a piece off and smell it and taste it. I mean, just you can't beat it. It tastes better than the store bought. Just loaded with flavor. And smell is just awesome. As I have some more little tomatoes coming along here. These are sweet 100s. They just growing away. I just have them sitting out here enjoying the sun. Um, and I have some more going on over here. As you can see, I'm always planting something. So these are some other little things that are growing right now. I have some hollyhock, um, some Cornelius, Coreopsis. If you're familiar with Coreopsis, that's a pretty plant. It's a yellow bloom on it, similar to a marigold, but it's a different variety or different plant. I have the Shasta daisy, which is a pretty plant. I have Rudbeckia, which is coming up, which is a beautiful plant. Purple coneflower, you're familiar with that. I have some marigolds that are coming up that are white, the different variety of marigold. You don't see that often. We always see the yellow, red. I mean, the yellow and red and orange, but you barely see the white marigolds anymore. I'm trying those out, and I have some peppers that I have planted here that I'm waiting to take off. Some pretty sweet peppers, different color varieties. I have some Chinese giant peppers, which is a different variety of pepper, and a tangerine pepper, which is like an orange pepper that's pretty sweet. Uh, just different varieties of things that I like to grow, uh, um, just to keep me busy in the garden. And so that's about the end of my video. I would mention that you guys get out in the garden, plant you something. You'd be surprised if you just plant it up beside the house. You don't need a lot of space. If you got a side of the house that gets a lot of sun, that'll be a good spot to start a little garden. You can have it 2 foot by however long your house is. It can go from one end to the other, and you could just put plants there. I started gardening doing that when I was in Leesburg. I started a little garden beside the house, and it produced like crazy. So just take what you got and work with it. And eventually, as I pan to this plum tree, this plum tree has produced plenty of plums, and it's loaded now with plums. I pruned it back. I prune pretty vigorously, to control space, because I don't have a lot of space. And if I let these trees just run crazy, they'll just be everywhere. You have to, contain them. But they're getting solid now. When I first planted them, the base of the tree was rather narrow. You could wrap your hand around it. But you look at that base of that tree now, it's getting pretty thick, and it's got a nice foundation, as well as the plum tree here. That tree is getting a pretty thick base on it, and you can't get both hands around that. That's pretty thick. So that's letting me know that the tree is healthy and it's growing and it's doing what it's supposed to do. So if I treat it right and take care of it, it'll do what it's supposed to do. That's produce fruit. But I just wanted to share that with you guys this morning. Be safe out here. These are things that keep me busy while I'm self-distancing myself from uh, things right now, people, different places. I go out to the grocery store if I have to the store to get gas and stuff. But you have to take the extra necessary precautions to take care of yourself. And y'all be safe out there. I love each and every one of you. And let's grow something. Let's get to it. You know, during as I may say this, during World War One, when the Great Depression was going on, everything was in a calamity. They asked people to grow gardens because the economy was so bad. They asked people to start growing gardens to feed their communities. And if you look it up, victory gardens is what they were called. If you look up victory gardens, you will see how people turn their yards and even their front yard or their backyard, whatever space they had, they got creative with it and they turned their yards into gardens to feed their communities. Y'all, we have to be mindful. We might have to do this. We don't know where this corona thing is going. So you guys just think about that and be safe out here. And just let's keep our hands in God's hands and he'll guide us through it. But we have to be diligent and use common sense also. All right, you all take care. I love you.